We have a picture of your look. People are scared already. Were the kids on set actually scared of you?
I don't know. I don't know. The kids were, because when you work with kids, like actors, you never know if they're going to be game or not. Like there's some kids that are actors that have this kind of raw talent, and some of them are like professional actors at 12 years of age.
Right,
and
yes.
these seemed to be, like, you didn't know going into it, but they were all like really professional actors. Because this one kid, Jack Racer, plays Eddie in the movie, and it was my first day of shooting, and we've kind of deliberately kept me separated from the kids. They'd never seen the clown, they'd never really met me, and there's this one scene, and the scene in the movie is very intense. And it was my first day, so it was, I needed to kind of get into character, and it was like, oh, hey there, Jack, how are you? Looking like that.
Loving the character of Jason, never having any clue that I might have a chance to do it myself. But what I tried to do when Buechler finally convinced them that I should play the character in Part 7, I tried to I watched all the movies again just to see kind of like how he had moved and stuff like that in the previous ones, but I kind of went into it without any real plan. I wanted to just do what felt natural. And I've said this before, but so in scenes that involved especially the violent stuff, I would kind of just go into it and do what I felt was right. And it seemed to work out for the best. When I started seeing the footage of what I had done, I thought, oh, okay, that looked pretty real, pretty believable. And my biggest goal was to not look like I was acting. It's hard to be scary without your facial expression.
You've played Freddy, of course, throughout the franchise, so it's only fitting ABC's 80s comedy The Goldbergs going to pay tribute Wednesday night to the famous film series for its special Halloween episode. And you get to play yourself, or Freddy.
Well, it's sort of battle of the 80s sweaters with Wendy and I. Because Freddy's famous, red and green striped, nauseating sweater, and of course she has the wardrobe with all those 80s shoulders.
Yeah.
Sort of Joan Crawford, 80s with her hair.
Yeah,
her
for
wigs.
sure.
Yes.
Did you ever have issue that was the actual choice of wardrobe?
I'm not sure.
It was the worst sweater of all time.
I don't know what went into it, but there's a theory that the colors red and green are kind of hypnotic and make you a little ill at ease, and that's why Wes chose them. That they kind of
Definitely
on the color scale.
For someone to play the killer, so I called the casting director and had an interview with him, and he said they'd call us back. So I assumed that meant no. And then he called me the next day, and I went down and met Toby and the writer, Kim Henkel. And that's really when I first met Toby. And actually, I know why he hired me. I mean, we had a long conversation. We talked for more than an hour about the character. And then he asked me if I were violent, and I said no. And then he asked me if I was crazy, and I said no. And he looked sort of worried, and then said, "Can you do it?" And I said, "Yeah, I can do it." So he hired me. And then later, I found out that the reason he hired me was that when I came for the interview, I filled the door. I was the tallest and widest person who interviewed for the job, and so it was very strange. I mean, that was
Every great movie you've ever seen, the movie builds and builds and builds and builds to a crescendo, to a climax, right? And so that climax is Halloween Ends. So the finale, the showdown, the final showdown between Jamie and the Shape is incredibly powerful. It's filled with love. It's filled with pain. It's filled with erotica. It's a really, really. It's a very, very powerful. It was so moving for Jamie and I both to shoot it, and I saw in the editing bay before the film was done. I saw many of these scenes, and they're powerful, man. They're powerful.
Well, it's decades in the making, that showdown, which is amazing to think about. That this franchise has gone on for as long as it has, and it'll probably continue. I would think. You think in some way after this for future generations.